We're inside the Victory Lap studio here at Rogers Cup presented by National Bank. I'm alongside Victoria Azarenka and Barty, who are through to the doubles semifinals. Congratulations, Vika, today having to battle through in 3 sets, but what were the two of you happiest with the most in your doubles?
I think it was kind of tricky, match today, definitely with the conditions, with the wind. We played a completely different opponent from our previous round, so there was quite a bit of adjustment for us to do, but I think we managed to turn things around in the second set and really step it up, and I'm very happy that we were able to go through those challenges today.
Yeah, you mentioned tricky. You're playing Flipkens and Su-wei, Hsieh, who are two of the trickiest players out there. After that first set, what do you feel like, Ash, you guys changed in your game to make sure that you came across as the winners?
Yeah, two of the most talented players on the tour, and then adding in the wind and the conditions to go with it brought in a whole new different ball game. So I think for us it was really nice just to go back to simple basics a little bit in the second set and through the tiebreak and try and go to our strengths a bit more, squeeze the court and made sure that we had plenty of time on the ball.
When you have a windy day like this, and if you're not here with us in Toronto, it is quite windy out there. Do you have to make adjustments, or what are you doing as a tennis player to say, okay, this is actually going to be a pretty tough day at the office, even in addition to who we're playing across the net from us?
Yeah, I think it's kind of tricky also because it doesn't really seem like it's windy, but when you're out there, the ball is like really moving a lot. So I think it's more about just trying to accept it, which is not easy when you're trying to hit a perfect ball and it's swirling around. But I think it's about just adjusting, and it goes both ways, so it's uncomfortable for everybody, and just try to play 1 point at a time. And I think that's what we did really well in the second set, and that's what helped us to win.
Can you think of the worst wind you've ever played in? The French Open a couple months ago, there was really bad wind toward the semifinals, but what's the worst wind you've ever played in?
Well, it definitely worked out for her, so let's put it that way. I played the worst match. Actually, it was when I just started. I was 14 years old. I was in Israel, and I walked down the hill to play my match, and I actually fell because when I was turning, my back started to. So that was the worst. I don't know how they didn't stop the match. And 1 year in Prague, the tournament in Prague, we had chairs flying and the side fans falling on the court. So that was pretty amazing.
Yeah, I've had some shocking days in Australia as a junior. I mean, we play all throughout the year, and for us, the spring months get really windy, and sometimes in Melbourne, particularly in kind of August, it's still a little bit cool, and you have that kind of the wind chill. It's pretty gross. It's pretty tough.
It's tough. You guys have to do. I remember when I was a kid, we played through snow once in Montana, but I don't think
not on.
You guys ever played snow.
Doesn't snow in Australia.
Hail, yeah. Snow. I mean, I'm from Belarus, so I know a lot about it, but not playing through it. I think you're exaggerating a little bit.
We did. Well, we had
Maybe
to stop.
she's called you out there.
We went back on court after
Are you
it.
sure it wasn't hockey?
Adjustment week. We're back on the hard courts, obviously, Ash. What do you have to do with your game? What do both of you have to do this week to make sure that you're feeling the ball, even when it's windy like this, back on the hard courts?
Yeah, I think for me in particular, it's just about hitting a volume of balls. I had a couple of weeks off after Wimbledon, which I really needed just to have 2 weeks of not hitting a tennis ball. And I just need to hit a volume of balls and get back to obviously feeling the bounce off the hard court. The moving on the hard court's a little bit different, but it'll get there. You just have to be patient and give it some time.
Okay, now you had the week in San Jose before this, at least match action goes, but is it the same for you, or how do you approach coming back to a different surface after the clay and the grass?
Well, I think it's, there is adjustment, obviously, but I feel also, playing a week in San Jose, playing here, actually feels like completely different surface in a way, because the balls are different, the bounce is different, so I feel like I can't really compare the last week to this week, and I think moving to Cincinnati is going to be another adjustment, and then we'll be in New York, where we all feel pretty comfortable, I would say, that is similar to the conditions here. So it's all about, trying to get as many matches as you can, try to get repetitions, and I'm happy that, even though I lost my singles, I get to play some competitive matches in doubles, and that really helps.
Okay, you won the title together, the two of you, in Rome. You're looking to get into another final here this week. How do you approach the doubles court? Is it business? Is it casual? Is it a mix of the two?
A mix of the two, definitely. I think we enjoy ourselves and we have fun, but we're also two extremely competitive people who want to win every single tennis match that we can.
You don't say.
So I think it's the beauty of both for us. At times we're able to relax and not stress too much about doubles.
Yeah.
But we play our best when we're going 100% and trying to win every single point. And I think when our back's against the wall in a lot of our matches, that's when our best stuff's come out.
Does this partnership continue, or are we going to see you in Cincy and New York together too?
I hope so. I mean, New York for sure. We haven't really discussed Cincinnati, but New York, yes.
How does it work in doubles? Are you WhatsApping and trying to figure out the next couple weeks, or how far in advance do you plan those sort of things?
It's just
a bit by
casual.
feel.
Just casual. It wasn't like, I think the first time we played together, it was really, we communicated via phone, and then after it was just like, oh, you want to play?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think some weeks when we're, if we've played a lot, we back off a little bit. If we haven't played as much, we're happy to play through. So, pretty cruisy chick. She's easygoing.
Pretty cruisy chick. Okay, let's end on some who is more, and I will give you the more, and then you can kind of decide who is which, and we'll go from there. Who is more messy between the two of you?
I don't know.
In what way, first of all?
Like,
Hotel room.
Oh,
I can't say I've been in Vika's hotel
I
room.
haven't been in your hotel room. First of all, my room is pretty nice. My mom was with me this year.
I'm pretty OCD. I'm pretty
That's right,
set out. So, but I think we're both pretty organised, to be honest.
All right. Who runs late more? Who's not? You?
Definitely. I win that every time. Every time. I'm a champ. Champ.
Champion of lateness. Who's more superstitious?
Ooh.
I
I
have a
don't-
couple.
You have a couple?
But it's more like
A routine.
traditionals
Yeah.
ones. Yeah, it's actually more like traditionals from my parents, from the cultural thing, like don't whistle in the house. And I mean, it's crazy, yeah, but
Don't whistle in the house.
you can't whistle in the house. I get really pissed if people do that.
You can't spend time with my coach then. Tyres, he hums and whistles all day long.
No, like it's fine if he does that like outside the house, but if he's in my home and he whistles, that's like a bad luck stuff.
Ah, righto.
Bad luck.
Well, yeah.
So never invite him in, ever.
No, and I'll just let you know.
On the court, when you're practicing or playing together, who's more honest?
Honest.
In what way?
Just like as a team, who's giving honest feedback more?
Oh, I think that goes both ways.
Yeah, I
Like,
think we're not
there's
afraid to tell each other what we think.
there's no holding back from me ever, really. I should be sometimes, but no. I think both is straightforward.
Okay. Who's on their phone more?
Much for much, I think.
It depends. Also,
I think at different time zones as well. Like for me, when I know Australia's awake, talking to family, obviously we're in very different time zones with family and things like that. But I mean, rarely you'll see us without a phone.
It really depends on the week if I'm playing Cookie Jam or not. Oh yeah, I'm addicted to it. I'm on the level like 1,300.
What is it? No, I don't know what it is.
It's a game. Don't play it. Don't play it. It's horrible.
But is it like a Candy Crush or?
Yeah.
Similar.
It's
Okay.
awful.
Cookie
Yeah,
Jam.
and they have this like guy, and he just says, "What is it?" I turn it off because he's already pissing me off. it's just funny. He goes, Cookie Jam.
Leo must have
gotta
got
play
onto that
it,
one.
Yeah, he likes to, but he doesn't understand it, so he messes it up. So I have to turn it off.
Okay, lastly, who's more likely to sing in the shower? Who's the better singer overall?
Oh, singer, I don't know.
I'm not rating myself at all here. Like, I think that's
I
just a
don't
handball
think
straight
singing-
to Vika.
I think if you would ask about dancing, I think I would
Oh,
win
all
that
over you.
competition. But singing, I'm not that great.
She's got
I'm
both
not-
in the bag, don't worry.
All right, well, congratulations. You're into the semifinals. Barty and Victoria Azarenka here at the Rogers Cup.